Some seafoods that look perfectly healthy could actually age your body faster after 60. You might think eating more fish automatically means better heart health, but that's not always true. As we get older, our bodies process toxins more slowly, and even small amounts of mercury or farmed chemicals can build up in the liver, brain, and joints. Harvard and the Mayo Clinic have both warned that certain popular fish now carry higher contaminant risks than ever before. In this video, you'll discover the 4 worst seafoods older adults should never touch and the 4 best ones that help protect your brain, heart, and energy. Stay until the end, because one on both lists surprises almost everyone over 60. Comment yes if you want more videos like this. For decades, seafood has been praised as the perfect protein light, heart-healthy, and rich in omega-3s. But what most people over 60 don't realize is that the sea itself has changed. Many popular fish today are raised or caught in polluted waters, absorbing heavy metals, microplastics, and industrial runoff. Here's why that matters. Our bodies in later years simply can't clear toxins as efficiently as they once did. The liver filters more slowly, the kidneys work harder, and cell membranes become more fragile. So even trace contaminants that a younger body might handle can linger longer, in seniors quietly affecting energy, memory, and joint comfort. According to researchers at the Cleveland Clinic, choosing the wrong fish too often may increase inflammation and oxidative stress, the very things we try to avoid with a healthy diet. Here's the bottom line. Not all fish are friends after 60. The good news, once you know which ones to skip and which to embrace, you can enjoy seafood safely for decades to come. 4. Farmed tilapia, the cheap fish that costs your health. Tilapia used to be considered the perfect everyday fish, mild flavor, low fat, affordable for every budget. But behind that mild taste is a harsh truth. Most farm tilapia today are raised in crowded ponds treated with chemical disinfectants and fed soy, corn, and even animal byproducts. What makes that dangerous for adults over 60 is its fat composition. Unlike salmon or sardines, tilapia contains up to 11 times more omega-6 fatty acids than omega-3s. Harvard researchers explain that this imbalance promotes inflammation, the very process linked to aching joints, stiffer arteries, and sluggish energy. For seniors, whose bodies naturally produce fewer anti-inflammatory compounds, this effect multiplies. Imagine putting a slow-burning fire inside your body every time you eat it. A real example, Mary, a 68-year-old retired teacher from Florida, thought she was doing the right thing by replacing red meat with tilapia. Within months, her knees began to ache, and she felt more fatigued after meals. After reading a Cleveland Clinic article about inflammatory foods, she swapped tilapia for wild salmon twice a week. Within a few weeks, her energy lifted, and her morning walks felt easier. Here's the truth. Tilapia isn't bad because it's fish. It's bad because it's farmed unnaturally. When fish are raised in stagnant water with chemical feed, they lose their natural nutrients and pass those stressors on to us. Better choices: wild salmon, sardines, or rainbow trout rich in clean omega-3s that help joints move smoothly and support heart rhythm naturally. Bottom line, tilapia looks harmless on the plate, but for the aging body, it's a slow drip of inflammation disguised as dinner. 3. King mackerel, the silent mercury trap. Mackerel often gets grouped with good fish, but not all mackerel are created equal. King mackerel, especially from the Gulf of Mexico and the Atlantic, carries very high mercury levels. Mercury is a heavy metal that accumulates in ocean predators the bigger and older the fish. The higher the concentration, after 60, the body's detox pathways, particularly the liver and kidneys, slow down. That means mercury stays in your tissues longer, potentially affecting brain clarity, balance, and even emotional stability. The Mayo Clinic and the FDA have both listed king mackerel among the top fish to avoid for adults and pregnant women alike. Here's a scenario that happens more often than you'd think. Richard, 72, loved to grill thick mackerel fillets twice a week, believing he was eating for his heart. Over time, he noticed more brain fog and a tremor in his hands. After switching to Atlantic mackerel, a smaller, low-mercury cousin, and alternating with sardines, his symptoms eased and his energy stabilized. That's the critical difference. Smaller fish yield lower toxins. King mackerel sits high on the food chain, eating many smaller fish, and every bite compounds the mercury content. Better choices: Atlantic mackerel, sardines, anchovies nutrient-dense, low in mercury, high in heart-loving omega-3s. Bottom line, king mackerel's bold flavor hides a toxic secret. For a 60-plus body, even a little mercury can build up faster than you realize. 2. Imported shrimp tiny shells. Big problems. Shrimp are the most popular seafood in North America, quick to cook, low in calories, and often seen as light and healthy. But here's the catch. About 90% of shrimp in U.S. supermarkets are imported from farms in Asia or Latin America, where antibiotics and chemical preservatives are commonly used to control disease. Even when cooked, these residues can linger in the shrimp's tissues. For seniors, that can mean irritation to the gut, subtle inflammation, or even mild allergic reactions over time. As we age, our digestive lining becomes thinner and our immune system less adaptive. A younger adult might not notice any reaction, but a 65-year-old with mild indigestion or arthritis might feel it as next-day stiffness or fatigue. In one consumer test conducted by Consumer Reports, over half the imported shrimp samples contained harmful bacteria or chemical traces, even those labeled as fresh. Real story. Linda, 63, loved her Friday shrimp pasta ritual, but she often felt bloated and tired afterward. Her dietitian suggested trying wild shrimp or small scallops instead. Within weeks, she noticed fewer digestive upsets and slept more soundly. Better choices: wild Gulf shrimp caught in cleaner waters, small wild scallops, or even crab, nutrient-rich and low in contaminants. Bottom line, imported shrimp may look pristine, but for a senior's sensitive gut and immune system, it's a loaded shell of hidden chemicals. 1. Swordfish, the heavy metal heavyweight. Swordfish is often served in upscale restaurants. Thick steaks, grilled to perfection. But few realize it's one of the highest mercury fish on Earth. Because swordfish live long lives and eat other large fish, they accumulate mercury at dangerous levels. For adults over 60, that's especially concerning. The nervous system and brain are more susceptible to oxidative stress and inflammation. Mercury can interfere with neuron communication and energy metabolism, leading to fatigue, headaches, or brain fog that seem unrelated to diet. According to both the Mayo Clinic and FDA, swordfish is on the do not eat list for vulnerable groups, including older adults with slower metabolism or any neurological sensitivity. Picture James, 74, who prided himself on grilling swordfish every Sunday. He started noticing restless sleep and occasional lightheadedness. After learning about mercury exposure, he replaced swordfish with rainbow trout and sardines. Within a few weeks, his sleep and focus noticeably improved. Here's the hidden truth: mercury doesn't leave the body easily. Once absorbed, it binds to tissues, especially in the brain and kidneys. It can take months or even years for levels to decline. Better choices: wild salmon, Alaskan or sockeye, sardines canned in water or olive oil, rainbow trout, fresh water. Low mercury. Bottom line, swordfish may look powerful, but it's quietly toxic to aging cells. For adults over 60, it's not a show of strength, it's a risk disguised as luxury. So now we've uncovered the 4 seafoods that silently sabotage vitality after 60. But here's the hopeful part: not all fish are enemies. In fact, some are deeply restorative, rich in nutrients that soothe inflammation, sharpen focus, and help older adults stay active and clear-minded. Up next, the 4 best seafoods to eat regularly, including one that many people overlook, but may be the gentlest brain booster of them all. 4. Sardines, tiny fish. Mighty nutrition. If there's one fish that deserves a comeback, it's the humble sardine. These small, silvery fish are nature's compact multivitamin packed with omega-3s, vitamin D, calcium, and protein. Here's the magic: because sardines are small and low on the food chain. They contain almost no mercury. That means they deliver brain and heart benefits without the heavy metal risk of larger fish. The Mayo Clinic highlights sardines as one of the purest and safest sources of marine omega-3s. For older adults, those fatty acids are vital for supporting joint flexibility, eye moisture, and memory clarity. Take Marjorie, 71, who started adding canned sardines in olive oil to her lunch 3 times a week. Within a month, she noticed her afternoon energy no longer crashed, and her hair and nails felt stronger. If you don't like the fishy taste, rinse them briefly or mix them into avocado or a light salad. Their natural calcium also strengthens bones, a quiet ally against age-related bone loss. Bottom line, sardines are small but powerful. They protect the brain, bones, and heart, and they do it without the toxins that trouble bigger fish. 3. Wild salmon, the heart and brain powerhouse. Wild-caught salmon, especially from Alaska or the Pacific Northwest, is one of the most nutrient-dense foods you can eat after 60. It's rich in EPA and DHA, the omega-3 fats that help regulate inflammation, support blood flow, and protect brain cells from oxidative damage. But here's what most people don't realize. Not all salmon are equal. Farmed salmon can be contaminated with dyes, antibiotics, and even PCBs, industrial pollutants, while wild salmon feed naturally and stay clean and mineral-rich. Harvard Health reports that eating wild salmon twice a week is associated with better cognitive performance and lower risk of heart arrhythmia in adults over 60. Real example. Dennis, 67, used to struggle with occasional brain fog. His doctor recommended adding wild salmon twice a week instead of red meat. After 6 weeks, Dennis felt mentally sharper and noticed he could recall names and details more easily. For older adults, salmon also provides vitamin B12, which supports nerve health and energy metabolism, both of which decline naturally with age. Preparation tip: bake or grill it lightly. Avoid deep frying, and pair it with leafy greens or lemon for extra antioxidants. Bottom line, wild salmon is a brain and heart synchronizer. It keeps blood flowing smoothly, nourishes cells deeply, and gives back vitality with every bite. 2. Atlantic mackerel, the hidden omega gem. If you've avoided mackerel because you once heard it was high in mercury, here's the good news. Atlantic mackerel is the safe kind. It's smaller, faster growing, and loaded with the good fats your heart and brain crave. According to the National Institutes of Health, regular intake of omega-3s from low-mercury fish like Atlantic mackerel can improve triglyceride balance, support memory retention, and help stabilize mood. That's especially important after 60, when emotional balance and focus can shift with hormonal and metabolic changes. Atlantic mackerel's DHA content supports serotonin regulation, helping many seniors feel more centered and calm. Story example. Evelyn, 64, replaced her tuna sandwiches with grilled Atlantic mackerel twice a week. Within a month, she said her concentration improved and she felt more awake in the mornings. And there's a bonus: Atlantic mackerel is among the most sustainable fish in the ocean. It reproduces quickly, meaning you're nourishing yourself without harming marine ecosystems. Preparation idea: marinate fillets in lemon juice and herbs, bake gently, and serve with vegetables or quinoa. Bottom line, Atlantic mackerel proves that not all oily fish are dangerous. When you choose the right species, you nourish both your body and the planet. 1. Rainbow trout, the gentle healer. Here it is, the one seafood most people overlook, but perhaps the best one you can eat regularly after 60. Rainbow trout. Unlike many large ocean fish, rainbow trout is freshwater raised in clean, monitored environments, especially in the U.S. and Canada. It's naturally low in mercury and pollutants, while being rich in omega-3s, vitamin B12, and lean protein that is easy to digest. What makes it special for older adults is its gentleness on digestion. As the body ages, stomach acid production drops, making it harder to break down heavy meats. Trout digest smoothly, helping seniors get protein without discomfort or bloating. Researchers from the Cleveland Clinic note that trout's unique amino acid profile helps preserve muscle mass, critical for mobility and fall prevention after 65's. Real story. Paul, 73, had trouble eating heavy dinners because of mild acid reflux. When he switched from chicken to baked rainbow trout twice a week, his symptoms eased and his nighttime rest improved. Plus, rainbow trout is a quiet multitasker, high in selenium, which supports immune function, rich in B12, vital for nerve repair and red blood cells, full of clean omega-3s, supporting joint comfort and emotional balance. Cooking tip: bake or grill with a drizzle of olive oil and lemon. The mild flavor pairs beautifully with herbs like dill or parsley. Bottom line, rainbow trout is the gentle healer of the seafood world, clean, balanced, and perfect for the mature digestive system. It's the kind of fish that loves you back. Now that you know which seafoods to avoid and which to enjoy, the next step is learning how to eat them the smart way, especially after 60. First, keep your portions gentle, around 4 to 6 ounces. 2 to 3 times a week is plenty. More doesn't always mean better. Your body processes nutrients more efficiently in smaller, balanced amounts. Second, watch your cooking method. Frying destroys omega-3s and adds oxidized oils that age your arteries. Instead, steam, bake, or grill on low heat. A little lemon, olive oil, and herbs, and you preserve the heart of the fish's nutrients. Third, rotate your choices. Don't eat the same fish every time. Alternate between sardines, trout, and salmon to minimize exposure to any one element and keep your nutrient balance strong. And finally, store fish properly. Freeze portions quickly. Avoid refreezing, and thaw in the refrigerator, never on the counter. Bottom line, with the right habits, seafood becomes one of the most powerful tools for longevity, not a hidden hazard. So here's the takeaway. Friends, the sea can be your greatest ally or your quietest enemy. By skipping the 4 risky seafoods and choosing the 4 healing ones, you're giving your body the chance to stay sharp, strong, and steady through every season of life. Remember, it's not about fear, it's about wisdom. Every bite you take can either drain or renew your energy. And now, you have the knowledge to make seafood your friend again. If this video helped you, please like, share, and subscribe to stay connected with others who care about living long and living well. And tell me in the comments, which fish will you try first this week? Stay safe, stay curious, and always consult your healthcare provider if you have any concerns.